Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's podcast. I am excited to help you get better and better. I really am. I love getting to do this.
Absolutely.
I mean, this academy, this FMO that we've been building, I mean, I've had the academy now for 4 years, and I have not taken a dime personally for anything. I've been able to support quite a few people that have worked with the company, and I love that because literally we've had 2 people be able to buy houses. We have one that had a baby. We have another one that's about to have a baby. I mean, it is exciting to watch everybody else thrive off of this.
Growth on multiple fronts.
2021, I'm going to be taking some money from this company.
There you go.
I don't know what. It may buy me a pack of gum, but
yeah.
The reason why I bring that up is because I've had agents.
Sure.
You make X number of dollar in annuities. Why would you ever do an academy?
Right.
And I'm going, do you realize how many success stories we have and how many agents that literally said flat out, I never would have made it in this business if it wasn't for your academy. I never would have made it if your marketing organization didn't help me when others would not. And what I mean by that is there's a ton of marketing organizations out there that say, whoa, we got leads. Yeah, but you're not teaching me how to leads. And by the way, handing me the phone book is not leads.
Right.
You know, oh, we've got this incredible training system. Yeah, all you're doing is you have the videos from the insurance companies linked onto your website, and that's where the training's coming from. They don't have people in the field like we do, and that's what I get to do. I'm literally regurgitating, and that's a horrible word, but I'm just putting back up what I've done the week before or whatever my situations. I get to use experiences that happen all the time.
Right.
And just, hey, this is what I ran into. This is what I did. This is how I overcame it. So what are we talking about today?
Yeah, well, we want to talk about something that's pretty important. We talk about it sometimes, but it's selling from worst case scenario.
Absolutely.
And I don't remember the last time we did a podcast on this. We talk about it with agents in the training, and we talk about it with agents in our FMO pretty frequently about selling from worst case scenario because it is so important. But I want to break it down a little bit for our podcast listeners today and just kind of walk through that. And so the first thing I want to start with, though, is if we're supposed to be selling from worst case scenario, why is selling from best case scenario, and I'm going to use air quotes again. Chad always gives me a bad time about my air quotes, but why is selling from best case scenario? Do what?
This is such a millennial.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, everything's in quotes.
I barely made it.
I'm totally joking. You know I love millennials.
Oh, I know.
I want to slap the parents of them, but I love millennials. I really do. Okay,
well,
but anyway.
Okay.
Stop getting me sidetracked.
We'll keep going. But why is selling from quote unquote best case scenario not a smart idea?
Well, think about marriage. You know, when you have your vows, you say for better, for worse, right? If I ever would have presented best case scenario to my wife, it would have been bad because I never could live up to that.
Yeah.
I mean, the reality is I will always be there for you, babe, which is true. But human error, if I'm tired sometimes, I'm not always there for her. Why? Because I was spacing out and I didn't hear anything she said.
Right.
So, I mean, it's the reality. I'll rub your feet every day. Nope, that hasn't happened either.
Yeah.
But the reality is I don't ever do anything from best case scenario because there's reality. Now, worst case scenario, now I didn't do that either. I didn't say, well, this is as good as it's going to get, babe. Everything from here is perfect or better. But I always talk about worst case scenarios are absolutes. And the worst case scenario in an annuity is you earn zero, minus your fee if you have an income rider. So you can never go backwards due to market volatility. Now, hear someone say, yeah, but what if the insurance company goes under? I personally have done a lot of research on this, and I have not personally found any fixed annuity company that has disappeared.
Right.
I've seen some that have been absorbed, but I have never seen one disappear. I've never seen benefits from an annuity go away.
Right.
Now, I've seen pensions go away, but those weren't insured by an insurance company.
Right.
So the worst case scenario, now, if somebody can do that, shoot me a quick email and let me know which company, because I've spent so many hours trying to find one company in the past 100 years that has not paid its clients from an annuity.
Right.
Now, once again, I'm not talking property and casualty. I'm not talking variable annuities.
Right.
I'm talking about straight fixed annuities.
Right.
But if I'm using that worst case scenario, if I'm using, okay, let's take, if somebody says, hey, I'm working part-time right now. I earn $24,000 a year. I get $24,000 from my Social Security, and I get $15,000 from my wife's Social Security. What's the worst case scenario there? $24,000 from the one Social Security. Because worst case scenario is he's lost a job, can't work. She's dead. Now only one Social Security.
Right.
Or vice versa. He's dead. He's no longer working out because he's dead. Can't do that.
Yeah.
And then they'll lower the two Social Securities. So the worst case scenario is the $24,000 a year. So I try and make it work off of the worst case scenario.
Right.
And that's in an annuity. What's a worst case scenario? 0% return. So if you have an income rider, you know your worst case scenario is the income's going to grow till you start to draw from it. Then that income value stops. Generally, for most, there are some that don't. But your income will never go backwards due to market volatility.
Right.
So I love using worst case scenario.
Absolutely.
If I set the bar of this is your worst case scenario, think about it. What other thing can you ever sell? I just did air quotes, sell.
He's picking it up.
And use worst case scenario. Think about this. What if you went to buy a car? Yeah, this will probably break down in about 2 or 3 months. Yeah, this is going to be really expensive to maintain. Think about anything you bought. You go to buy a TV. Yeah, this is a piece of junk. It's probably going to fall apart. No, if you did everything from worst case scenario, you wouldn't buy a lot of things, but our products we can.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I remember talking with a gentleman who was talking, this was back in, this was 2016, maybe 2017.
Wow.
It was just after
so you
President
just got
Trump.
Out of middle school.
No, my gosh. just a year after, maybe at the most, President Trump's first election.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. So anyways.
Let's not go on that.
We won't go down that rabbit trail. But I remember this gentleman telling me that he had done 25% in a year in his IRA. Mm-hmm. And I go, wow, that's really something pretty good. Mm-hmm. And so when I think about that, and I think about what people have done in their variable accounts of sorts, and a plethora of different options there, what they can do and what they maybe have done historically, and now you bring in this annuity that you're talking worst case scenario. How do you paint that as a good option?
Because what's the worst case scenario in the variable account?
You lose it all.
Everybody loves to talk about their unrealized gains, and then their unrealized gains turn into unrealized losses. And then all of a sudden, it's like this client that I had, and some of you might have heard me talk about this, but he got stock options for a company at $19 a share. It went up to $92 a share. And he's like, man, I really don't want to sell this. I don't want to pay the capital gains on that. And I said, yeah, but look how much this has increased in that time frame. $19 to $92, $93 a share. I don't want to pay the capital gains. Well, then the stock market, 2007 to 2009 hit. And he went down to $16 a share or something. And I said, well, you don't need to worry about capital gains anymore. And yeah, was that harsh? But it was stupid to think that you've more than quadrupled your money,
right?
Yet you don't want to pay the capital gains. It doesn't even make sense. And so everybody loves to talk about the 15, 16%.
Right.
If you were averaging 15 to 16%, we wouldn't be dealing with $200,000.
Right.
We'd be dealing with millions.
Right.
If your broker knew when the top of the market was and the bottom of the market was, then we'd be dealing with millions of dollars. So nobody can tell me their stock accounts averaged X number of dollars. Plus, the reality is most people don't even know how to calculate what their account actually has earned. Another case where I had this client tell me, well, they've averaged 8% on their 401k. No, you haven't. Oh, yeah, since 2000, I've averaged 8%. Nope, you haven't. Yeah, absolutely. I said, okay, let's meet. He didn't even, I didn't care if I got the deal or not. I just want to prove you're wrong, okay? And it wasn't a matter of proving you're wrong. I wanted a reality check. So I meet with him and I said, okay, so here's your account. Sure enough, 8% gain. And I knew it wasn't right because I knew what time of year it was. So it wasn't 2020. It was back when the market was still recovering. And I said, how much have you put into this account? And he goes, well, I put in 6%. And I said, okay, so what does the company match? Well, they match 50% of that. Oh, so they match 50% of 6% is 3%. So it's actually 9% is what you've put in the company's matched. But you've only made 8%. He's like, I've lost 1% per year. I'm like, yes, you're not. They calculate their gains based off of how much they're still putting in and their company's matching. That's not how you calculate gains.
No.
I mean, I could have $100 in the bank and put another $100 in and say, I just had 100% gain.
growth.
I mean, it's like I joke around with people all the time and say, when I lived in Las Vegas, I go, you want to know how to get your money back? And if you put your money into a machine, you want to know how to absolutely 100% get your money back. Well, I want that machine. Yeah, it's the coin. It's the machine that turns dollar bills into coins. So you put the $10 in, you get $10 in coins. That's how you get your money back.
There it is.
That's the only place in Las Vegas you can get it in any machine. Those casinos were not built off of winners. The entire city was built from losers. That's the reality. So risk does not work.
Right.
If you want, it's a whole story, this tortoise and the hare. The rabbit's running all over the place, being crazy, and the tortoise always wins. Why? Slow and steady.
Yeah. Well, and that sounds like, a brilliant key there, Chad, is when you're talking worst case scenario and you're selling from worst case scenario, don't compare worst case of one to best of another.
It happens all the time.
That'd be like you taking a 70-year-old man and saying, well, he's 70, and you pull a 22-year-old, fit athlete guy and saying, well, physically they're so vast. It's you're not comparing best case to best case. You're comparing.
Wait, am I the one that's 70 at the
time?
time?
Yeah, you would be the 70.
I could beat that 22-year-old.
We'll just even compare here.
You're right. Yeah, let's see. We always carry guns though. You youngsters, you don't.
Well,
cap guns don't work.
Yeah. Okay. But that said, you can't compare worst to best. You got to compare worst to worst. And when you compare worst to worst, what's the best worst case scenario? It's with a fixed product, safe money product.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to think
you see what I mean?
Best worst case scenario. Yes, it would be, because your best worst case scenario would be zero.
Right. Exactly.
Wow, that one hurt. I had to think of that one a little bit.
It's not looking at the best case scenario.
Well,
because that's a pipe dream a lot of times.
No, it is. And I say this all the time. How do you make an unrealized gain a realized gain?
Protect it.
You have to protect it. You don't say you have to get out of the market or you have to sell it, because that means you're giving advice.
Yeah, especially if you're not serious licensed.
I just say,
those words.
You have to protect it. That's the reality. I'm not telling you what to protect it with. You have to protect it.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
What do we got next?
Well, we're going to keep going down this, because I want to talk a little bit about lead companies and how sometimes lead companies will, as clickbait, use a very high percentage, right? And so my curiosity is, how do you, if you have somebody come in saying, hey, I saw this, some lead, or they don't use the word lead, but I saw a website saying, 10%, 12%, whatever it may be.
Yeah, the problem is those clients don't read.
Okay.
It says based off of last year's returns.
Okay. Some
annuities have made X number of percent. That's true.
Sure.
That's a true statement, and I will say that. I'll say, you know what? I haven't seen anyone that says average X number of percent.
Right.
Say last year's return was approximately X percent.
Sure.
And I'm going, that was a true statement. It did. There are some annuities that made more than that. Because the highest I've ever seen was like a 12% return.
Right.
And the year I saw the 12% return, I had clients that made 18% on some of theirs. I had clients that made 0%. I had clients that made a small percentage from a fixed amount. So it's a matter of what were they actually in from an index standpoint.
Right.
Once again, we can't predict the future. So we don't even necessarily know if the index we're putting them in is going to be a high producer.
Right.
Some of these volatility control indexes, the market does really good over a year span, but there's a ton of volatility. They're not going to do that well.
Sure.
So we just don't know. But the reality is their worst case scenario is zero.
Right. So how do you segue taking those factual statements that the lead companies will use sometime, but then segue that into selling worst case scenario, where now the client is interested because of this great percentage that they've seen, but now you're flipping it to be a worst case scenario. How do you do that and do that well and still explain it in a way that...
Well, I'd say something along the lines, what's the best year you've ever had in a variable account? Because there can be some really good years of variable accounts where you're getting double-digit returns, some triple-digit returns. And I've had some stocks. I have stocks that I have right now that are up 200%.
Right.
But does that mean anything?
No.
No.
You haven't realized the game.
Exactly. And the reality is those stocks could easily, in what I'm in, situations could not improve and I could lose it all.
Sure.
But I know that. And I'm aware of that. It's when the client thinks, well, I've only made gains and I've never had big losses. Day traders are horrible at that. I made a 55% return last year. No, you didn't. Number one. Number two, even if you did, day trading, I mean, it's a fact. 98%, actually, they even say as high as 99% of day traders do not even break even.
Right.
I mean, it's literally a slot machine on your computer. That's all it is. And there's all these software programs. I love it when people, when I say I love it, I'm being very sarcastic. It's like 2000, 2003, 2007 to 2009, 2018, in 2020, all these new fancy products that help protect you against market volatility, all these people are still losing money.
Right.
And so it's crazy. If you have someone that says, hey, they had 12% return, I just say that is true. That is what some annuities made last year.
Right.
But what I'm going to show you is something that can earn from 0 or it can earn 20%. We don't know. There's also income riders. There's bonuses. There's all sorts of things that can come into play.
Right.
So what are we doing in that scenario? What is your situation? This is why we meet.
That's
so
important.
I need to find out what your situation is and which product's going to suit best.
Take control of that conversation, loop it back around to fact finding. Yep. Don't bite the bait of talking returns and percentages with the clients, because that's what they want to talk about right there. But it's important for you as the agent to get the information so that you can make a recommendation that's best for their situation. It all comes around.
It's
full
also
circle.
important though, because some people will say, well, what have annuities averaged over the past 10 years? And I've heard agents say, oh, 8 or 9%. Don't ever say that. I say between 2 and 6%.
Yeah.
If you took an average indexed annuity over the past 10 years, it's between 2 and 6%. Are there some that have made more? Yes. Are there some that have made less? Yes. But that is a very safe average.
Right.
Now, if we have 6 or 7 years where the market's going straight down, which once again, I don't think that's going to happen either. I think we're going to see a lot. I can predict the future of the stock market. I can. You believe I can, right? Yeah, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. That's the future of the stock market. We're going to see this, and nobody can tell me what the stock market is going to be tomorrow, let alone 5 or 10 years from now. We just don't know. I mean, the economy was booming great before the Great Depression, and then the Great Depression happened. Now, I don't think, once again, we'll ever run into that type of situation in the near future, but we just don't know, and nobody can. That's why we are true long-term planners when we use income riders, because we can know beyond any shadow of a doubt this would be your income for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
So good deal. I hope this helps you guys. You have a great day, and happy selling.